I get on there and it shows me my picture, and then I'm like,
this is Peacock. Peacock, baby.
hey, y'all, how are y'all?
Hello, hello.
Colby finally got his coffee and was able to jump on with us.
Well, actually, we were kind of worried that our internet was acting kind of crazy a while ago, so I hope it doesn't kick off. If it does, just be looking for it. We'll have to put it on the phone because our internet's been a little crazy. Actually, since the storm, it's really kind of done like that.
Hopefully it won't mess up.
Kinfolk, Jinx. Kinfolk Farm, how are y'all? Walker Farm fam, Justin Galvin, how are y'all doing? Simply Southern Roots.
I saw Sean in Alaska.
Yeah, Sean Alaska.
Mom's in here.
I think I saw let's see, Diana at Justice Acres. Miss Sue, y'all doing okay?
Mom's been sending me
Miss Cecilia
videos of when my kids were like T90 all day.
Homesteading Great Mrs. Life.
I showed Colby some when he come home, and we were both like,
gosh, I wish
that's kind of depressing.
I know, it's so sad.
Actually, the oldest one was when I was pregnant with.
Welcome, Shirley.
When I was pregnant with Sayla. I was pregnant with Ellie Bell. So that would have been, she's 7. Right. That would have been
a long time ago.
A little over 7 years ago. So 7.5 years ago. That is crazy.
That is. Sue Hart Wiskin, welcome. You have a cool last name. I don't even know if I can say it all. From Iowa. Welcome. I see some new names on here. Good.
South Mississippi, down here.
Yeah, we'll butcher your names if you get on this channel, so I'm sorry.
It's burning up, even though we have all of our fall stuff out.
I know Misty got like crazy, and so you know what? It's fall. It's September 2nd. Ivy Acres. Hey, I got to give a shout out to Ivy Acres. They have been binge watching The Max. So thank you so much for Ivy Acres.
Absolutely.
PA Swarm King, how are you? First time here from Tennessee. Carolyn, Miss Carolyn, are you? I think you're Chris's homestead. Is that Chris's mom?
I think that's the same last name.
Yeah, I think that's Chris's mom. Welcome. Yes, so thank you for binge watching Ivy Acres. Yeah, so Missy's been doing fall and trying to get it all out, and we're still sweating like at 100 degrees here in the South.
Yeah, so I went up and got like some of my little fall pumpkins, and I've got a little banner that says thankful and some little ears of corn and stuff like that, and got that down. And we like to do that because we like to kick off kind of the Christmas season the 1st of November.
Right.
So I have to take advantage of September and October because I love fall and fall decorations, but Colby makes me take it all down November the 1st. So
we're one of those people that can leave our Christmas tree up all year round.
Yeah, well, look, we do a lot of decorating, I would say most seasons, but especially Christmas. So we kind of feel like if we're going to go through all the hustle and bustle of the tree and all the garland and all the ribbon and all the trees outside.
Thank you, Miss Carolyn.
And all of that stuff. I mean, we've collected over our 13 years of marriage, going on 14.
Yeah.
I mean, and we're going to spend all that time getting it all out of the attic, getting it all put up. We want to enjoy it for more than 25 days. So we start our Christmas the 1st of November. So we have been doing that, but it has been really, really hot regardless of it being September.
Hey, we're big Christmas fans, so I understand all y'all. I see Sean Alaska, he just leaves his up all year round. In Alaska, I guess you can. That's probably outside anyway, so it makes it fun. Thank you for coming on, Miss Carolyn. We hope you enjoy for sure. Yes, we're like that too, Simply Southern Roots. We put Christmas trees everywhere.
Walker and actually, Farm fam said they had one up till April one year.
Hey, that's pretty awesome there.
Well, hey, we're having a baby in the middle of Christmas season.
Yeah, someone asked when we were due.
So yes, December the 28th. So our Christmas tree might just stay up till April too. Who knows?
We might just let it go to next year. Might as well. When you have 6 kids, it won't matter, will it?
I guess not.
Evans family, welcome. Rustic Traditions. Good to see y'all.
Simply Southern Roots said we do 14 trees last year plus all extra.
and they do 50 to 60,000 lights outside.
Wow.
That's like the Griswolds.
Yeah, see, I mean, we can I would like flip out if I had to do all that work and then in 25, 26, or even some people wait till New Year's, like 30 days. I would like flip out if I had to do all that work to get it up, and then in no time you feel like you're taking it all back down. So we kind of kick our Christmas season off the 1st of November so that we can enjoy it, especially November, because November is kind of, it's not really a go, go, go. I mean, we have Thanksgiving and we have a few activities, but then, of course, y'all know when December kicks off,
Refuge.
your Christmas party's here, Christmas party's there. And so we kind of feel like if you put it up and you're going, doing, you don't really get to enjoy it. So, and it's for such a short period of time. So,
which we really didn't go a lot this last season. We really just kind of stayed home.
We didn't, and really kind of the year before that, we really did too.
We got excuse this year. We'll just say Mommy's super mom, but she feels just too worn out, too pregnant. We're not going anywhere.
Yeah, we'll be pushing it. We were just talking about pulling this fall stuff out so early because most people really don't start decorating for fall until October and do October and November. But see, we use that whole November of Christmas. So anyway.
See, my wife, Kim, says I'm not allowed to have Thanksgiving dinners here because our Christmas is up and she gets mad at me.
We have had a Christmas. We have had a Thanksgiving here before. We have
a family Thanksgiving. She gripes at me.
Well, I mean, to me, it kind of kills the mood when you're like eating turkey and dressing.
Thankful for the tree.
And the Christmas tree is up with all the lights.
Thankful.
Well, look, he has plenty of people in his family that can host Thanksgiving, and we have done it one year, I know for sure. And there's plenty. I mean, you're talking 5. His mom is 1 to 5, and then all of their kids has a ton of kids, and then all of their kids have a ton of kids.
We got kids everywhere.
So yeah, I think we're going to be the only family with 6 though. I think we maxed it out.
That's cool, Sean Alaska. We'll have to look into that for sure. Any man that has a kilt on, we got to watch his podcast for sure. And see, what's so crazy is our big barn where where y'all saw the video of us doing the seeds in the fields and where our big cows are. We've really pretty much taken that. That's a family barn up there. So we kind of have most of our stuff up there. So we really don't host a lot at our house like we used to. We used to.
Really, that's kind of the hosting spot for his side of the family anyway. Which I don't know what they will do now since they're doing all the construction stuff, but who knows? We'll see.
Kim, we're the same way. Pretty much like Halloween ends fall season for us. I mean, it really does. So we go straight into straight on Christmas. Thanksgiving and Christmas together.
Yeah. Which I've tried to kind of teach our kids that, we do a major celebration in the fall. We really don't participate in Halloween activities. We do fall things and we do fall activities and stuff like that, church activities and stuff, but kind of once that kind of gets over with, then that's right.
We used to have probably the biggest house, Lazy C, and then like I said, after we kind of got the family kind of barn up there, we just really go up there, which is good because we're not trying to kill ourselves.
I wouldn't say we have the biggest house of the family.
No, I'm not talking about extended family. I'm talking about just the local family, the smaller family. Henry's what's going on?
Living area.
Yeah, that's what I meant. I'm sorry. It's not really
because
the house, but
a lot of y'all have seen, if y'all have watched our farm tour, if y'all have not, go back because we show different clippings. Yeah, so our living room, our kitchen, and our dining room and our foyer is all one big room. So it's pretty easy to host stuff here because I have lots of bar space and a pretty big table because we're a big family anyway. And then a breakfast area too. So,
yeah, we went all over that. We chased that rabbit for a while, didn't we?
We did.
For 9 minutes, we've been chasing a rabbit about Christmas. You can tell we get excited. September 1st,
if you look at the days, if somebody Googles it, how many days is it until Christmas?
It's only 4 months.
Yeah, but if you do the breakdown of how many days that is, it kind of makes you go, "Oh my gosh,
Vicky, what's going on, Miss Vicky? How are you?" Welcome. Yes, we are crazy about fall and winter. This is our favorite time of year. it's still miserably hot in the SIP.
Mhm.
So I know some of
And
y'all are from South
extremely
Mississippi,
humid.
so it's like miserably hot.
Just preparing for some rain, hopefully, Henry said.
Hey, but you're going to see in our video, about me not planting, waiting to plant. Well, it was like a positive negative. So we had some stuff come up, some stuff didn't. So it allows us to say, okay, well, the stuff that come up, these heat tolerant things that came up, hey, it made it through a hurricane and drought. It must be good. So those have done good. You'll see in the next few videos. One or two things didn't come up, so we'll wait and plant those later in the season, like we talked about September.
Yeah, and
15th.
I think it is strictly related to the heat because I have experimented with some of the things that you'll see on the video that have not come up before in the past, and I strictly think it's related to the heat.
I do too. I agree. That's like our pumpkins, and that's what's so crazy. I would love to grow pumpkins
hot right now
all the time because I just think that they're pretty for the season. But really, we would need to start pumpkins like right now.
90 acres is hardcore.
What?
Said, y'all, I'm out feeding in the pouring rain, but I'm still here and watching. Number one fan.
You have been binge watching like crazy, so thank you very much. Hats off to you.
Absolutely.
We're not that cool, but thank you so very much.
Well, hopefully you're learning. You're learning us and how our farm works and how we do things. And I mean, that's why we do this homestead YouTube thing.
That's funny. Kim Wingler says it's only 8 more paydays till Christmas.
That's what I'm saying. Like if you start looking at it, you're like, oh my gosh,
Mimsy's Garden, we are the same way. We love fall gardening, but we kind of still are at that lull. We planted a few things that y'all saw. But I told Misty we're going to take up the rest of the tomatoes, the kind of the old tomatoes this weekend. Our goal is to get planted. So we'll have a few more things coming up on some of the planting stuff. But we kind of go through a lull right now. Like today, we didn't really have a lot of farm chores. We had to, Aiden had to fill up the cast water, and we were getting rid of some roosters. If y'all follow us on Facebook, you probably saw that. I don't know, but we are like inundated with like roosters everywhere, and we don't need them for meat because there's so many.
My hatch in February was like 60. Would you say like 60% roosters?
Yeah. Misty is terrible. She likes to hatch male chickens. We had so many. It was terrible. Bad.
I mean, out of I had 30 or almost 30. And I mean, we just got rid of 9.
Yes, and we still
and there's still 5. 3 or 4 more out there that we could get rid of.
Yep.
Easily. So
absolutely. Too many. And see, for us, because we feed organically, organic feed,
which we did lose some. Cheap. We lost some to the hawk. We lost 2 or 3 to the hawk.
Yeah, 2 or 3.
Some died when the lights went out. So I mean, we've lost a few here or there.
We culled one rooster. We couldn't catch him last night, and Misty was up to here.
I need to tell that story on YouTube.
You can.
Okay, so we had this one rooster that was down. I mean, I guess you could kind of call that the bachelor pad. We left most of the roosters down in the permanent fence. I mean, the temporary fence that y'all see where our ducks and turkeys and stuff are. So this little bad boy got out. And when I tell y'all he is fast, that is a total understatement. We have never been able. No, he was faster than Roadrunner.
Boom.
We have never been able to not catch a rooster.
Never been able not to catch a rooster.
We have never been able.
Never not.
We have never been able to not catch a rooster.
Never not been able to get it.
Will you please say? He's gonna get it next. So anyway, boom, boom. So the only time that we caught him, this is what we had to do. He would run around in the yard like crazy. The only time that we've been able to catch him is we would have to wait until at night he would roost on top of our permanent coop
house.
So one night, me and Colby and Aiden went out and surrounded it, and we put Harley up on top.
No, and it was Eliza, wasn't it?
One of the girls. I thought it was Harley.
Oh, it was Harley. Yeah, when we put her on
top.
So
we put her on top and got her to kind of walk him in a corner up there on the top. And Colby reached up and was able to grab him. That's the only way we were able to catch him. We put him in the permanent fence. And there is a tiny on our door. Our door's falling to pieces, and we have to redo all of that.
We're fixing to redo the whole hen house, by the way.
We hired somebody to come and build a barn, and he was supposed to do several other projects in the yard, but it's taken him like 4 months because he only works on Saturdays. And then so if it's raining or if he has something come up, whatever, he doesn't come. So he come and built our barn, and he was going to fix all of that for us. And then we had a few other projects for him to do. And he just finished the barn.
Yeah.
So that has not been done. We've got to get it redone. But there is one little spot in the bottom of that door, y'all. One little spot. The next day, he was out. And, y'all, we're talking, this was probably weeks ago. So he's just been running around in the yard. We tried to catch him 2 or 3 times since then.
What's up, Michael Homestead?
We had him cornered. Me, Aiden, and the girls yesterday went out. We chased him all over this yard, and he's learned, y'all. He was smart too, and I know that sounds crazy for a little pea-brain chicken or rooster, but every time we would go at him, he would run under the barbed wire. So if somebody was not in that field, that's straight where he would go, and then he would go through under all of the wire and go out and back out in the woods. So then I had to send Aiden out in the woods like 3 or 4 times to run him back out, y'all. We chased this rooster all over the yard. I was so mad. I could have spit fire. We got him up by the pool.
She was throwing stuff.
Oh my gosh. I was so mad. Because, y'all, I'm like 6 months pregnant, running in the yard trying to catch this rooster so that we can get rid of him tonight. And I was going to put him in a cage so I could get rid of him tonight. So we had him pinned up by the pool, and he's too big to go through the little slats. We were in a circle around him, and he still got away from us. Still. At that point in time, had I been able to get my hands on him, it probably not would have been good. I was so mad. So when I come in and cooled off, I called Colby, and I was like, when he gets up on that roof tonight, that's it. That is it. So we got him from a distance. We'll just leave it.
We dispatched him
from a distance. And I hated to do that, but I'm like, he's running around. Someone's going to end up killing him. I'm surprised it hadn't already.
And we don't need to pull and eat them because, if y'all notice, we have tons of chickens to eat, plus tons of chickens in the freezer. So we don't really need roosters to even cull and eat. So we try to sell them or even give them away. Now we're to a point where, like, please just freaking come get the chicken. Just come get the rooster.
But I was really mad because I'm like, you're running around in the yard. We have all this stuff planted, and y'all know what chickens do. They scratch. And if we can't catch him and put him back up, like, he's got to go. So
he went.
And I hated it, but I was so mad yesterday.
But we did get rid of 9 tonight, though.
Yeah, we did. I think I pulled a muscle in my stomach because I'm 6 months pregnant, y'all, and I was running after this rooster. But we could not sell him. I mean, we could not catch him. Even when Colby was here, we couldn't get him. I mean, we could not get him. He was so fast. And we even had him pinned multiple times and still could not get him. He was just too fast. It was not good.
She's had it with the rooster.
It was not good. It was not good. If I could have got my hands on that rooster, he might not have made it alive anywhere else.
We got rid of 9 tonight, and then we have another 4 or 5 we need to get rid of. So,
thank you so much.
Thank you very much. You sure don't have to do that.
Might have to get some icy hot with that for my full muscle. Anyway,
Little Feet, what's going on? How are you?
That was I have not been that mad in the long. I mean, and y'all know, most of y'all have farm animals, and y'all know that they can be extremely frustrating at times. And you go out and you have spent, like, I was dripping sweat, y'all. And you're just spent. And that's kind of where I was yesterday.
Little Feet Farm Homestead, the question you asked the other day, I'll address it to you. And we're going to put it in some videos as our cows get ready to freshen up. But when we talk about freshening up our cows, she is stuffy. She actually is a lot better than what she was.
Yeah. The kids picked up like a little head cold last week.
Sorry, we got off that subject. I'm sorry.
No,
no, go ahead.
The kids picked up a little, like, We have not had any fever or anything like that. We don't have COVID, y'all.
Hey, fancy
But
farmer.
we had like some congestion
Should
and a
we
little
wear
bit of
masks
cough.
when we're on this with them?
So over it. Anyway, yeah, so Harley, Sayla, Jennings, and me have all been kind of like battling this little congestion stuff, but Ellie Bell, Aiden, and Colby have all been fine. But like I said, no fever or anything like that. We've just had like sneezing and some congestion, and I had a sore throat for a few days. But
on little feet, one thing you were talking about the other day about freshening up your cows, getting ready for pregnancy, or when they're stopping milk and getting their body prepared to have a new calf. We actually do cold turkey cutoff. We don't ration down at
turkey
all.
dry up.
We do complete dry up.
I don't think either way is wrong though.
No, I said a lot of people ration off their feed and ration off their amount of milk. We don't do that. So basically, what we'll do is they don't get a lot. They eat alfalfa. So if you know anything about alfalfa compared to like grain, they just they gorge themselves when they're eating. Alfalfa, they take time to eat it. So we're on alfalfa anyway. So they take their time eating. I milk really quick. So they don't just they only eat about a gallon of food a day per cow. So they really don't eat a lot of food at all, or feed, excuse me. So when we get ready to have a calf, we take them out of the dairy stanchion area. We won't bring them by the dairy stanchion at all. We'll leave them in their fields, let them eat, and literally never go back around touching them or feeding them with anything like that, because ultimately they're rapacious animals. But we just cut off cold turkey completely, by the way.
Take care of Mom, Anna. Thank you for joining us.
Mimsy, we're not cool enough to have mods anyway, so you're good. So you don't have to worry about that. You're good.
Miss Kim, I don't think it's pollen because Sayla and Jennings first started with like runny noses, and that's really all they had. I mean, they didn't really have a cough or anything. They just had like runny noses. Like I would have to wipe their feet. Sayla sneezed a pretty good bit, and then myself and Harley kind of started after that. So I definitely think it was like a little viral head cold, but not that was the extent of it.
Cecilia, they could if you keep them in the same paddocks where they're used to milking, or if I'm still going out there trying to feed them or bring them closer. Mastitis definitely is something that they could get, but we've dried up actually both our cows, and we've not had an issue before with that. Elsa, if y'all know our cows, Elsa is the one that's more conducive to mastitis, just because she's a little bit more sensitive to everything versus being a hardier cow like Hallie.
Yeah.
But even with her, we cut her off. We don't bring her back to the stanchion whatsoever. Now, if you bring them to the stanchion still, or they're even seeing the stanchion, we don't work that field at all when they're driving.
And it's kind of like a nursing mom. Or
Three
I wouldn't say,
Musketeers,
or a mom
on?
that was not going to nurse. So if a mom has a baby and she decides she's not going to nurse, basically they just bind her down and let her just kind of do her thing, even though her milks wouldn't come in and all of that. It's kind of the same way, but they don't ever do anything. So it's kind of the same way. When we get ready to stop milking, we just kind of leave her alone and let her. I mean, I guess that it's not binding her down, but in a sense, you just leave her alone.
And we put no calves. We have no calves around them whatsoever.
Yeah.
Even the calves that's dried off, even the calves that are older, any first-time heifers, we don't put anything with them because we don't want them to ever think that they need to be back in milk.
Right. And the thing that could cause mastitis is not really the milk supply, but it's that they get so full of milk that their teats actually open up. And then you will actually see them walk around and leak milk or drip milk for a period of time. But after that first full week, it'll stop and then they'll start going down. But while those teats are open they're cows. They're laying down in dirt and they're laying down in their feces and urine. And so that when they're open like that, that allows bacteria could get in there. But that's when we kind of keep a close eye on them and just check them, walk around and check them.
We try to have early spring calves. That's what we've tried to develop now. And that means the time that we're trying to dry them up, it's cooler. They're not laying around a lot. They're actually up eating a little bit more. So that's another reason too. Simply Southern Roots, thank you for coming by. I'm sorry, we've been all over the place.
Kim said
this
her
chat.
husband's been sneezing, very low grade temp. Throat was a little itchy, but can still smell and taste.
Yeah.
You know, when we get this stuff, we're not the kind that
we're just dousing elderberry. That's really more.
Yeah, but even like 4 weeks ago, we had kind of the same similar like head cold symptoms. And you know, nowadays I feel like if anybody even comes in sniffly, they're like, "You have to go get tested. You have to go get tested."
Yeah.
And I'm
hey
just
Cindy, how are you?
like,
Castle Highs, what's going on?
no, you can still pick up stuff and it not be COVID. So, you know, but you know, you don't know until you know. But we've not had any fever or anything like that, so I'm not even worried about it. So it's just a head cold. You know, I was actually looking at Jennings when he was running around, and I was thinking, you remind me of those little snotty-nosed kids that run around like in daycares and preschool and stuff like that. I mean, you know, you walk in and it's like
snotty-nosed kids everywhere.
Yeah.
So now we have those snotty-nosed kids running around.
It's just part of it. I mean, you know, so.
So
anyway.
Don't come to our house because we have snotty-nosed kids running around like a daycare.
Yeah, so. But I mean, you know, it's funny though because Ellie, she's the little puniest one of them all, and she has been fine.
Let's see. Little Feet says Flossie was not pregnant, so my vet put her in heat and gonna try again. How long can you milk a cow? If she calves in June, I will have been milking her a year. It is okay. It's definitely good that they're calving per year. It's better for their body to go through that calving process. So our goal is we try to milk them, 8 or 9 months, because they're going to have a 2-month interval, freshen up, and then a month back to heal up before they start breathing again. So if at all possible, it's not that you can't milk. A dairy cow milks all the time. However, it is good for them to go through that full cycle of having another calf.
Yeah. And
so
I'll tell you that the vet
But you would be okay for a year. But here's another thing too. That's why most people buy 3 straws when they AI, because pretty much it's going to take 2 or 3 times to get them. Now, I don't know if you have someone that's got a bull close. Even if you're not wanting to breed the bull with what that bull is, what some people will do is put a bull close to that cow, or if there's a little bull calf close or steer close, sometimes by their presence close to the dairy cow, it can put them in heat, and that will help. That will help AI that cow to put her in heat to be more susceptible for the straw. Because we're actually, sooner or later, we will maneuver away from daddy-o because we're not going to need so many dairy cows anymore because I can only milk so much and only sell so much. So
we were talking about the other day, like right now, we're going to be dumping milk tonight.
Yeah,
I mean, it's going to go to the pigs,
yeah.
But that's still, to me, I mean, it's like we don't want to do that, but every, maybe once a month, maybe twice a month. I mean, you don't want to dump milk a whole lot, but we have so much milk right now. I mean, and then Josie, we were just talking about, like, what are we going to do with her? Because right now,
hey, Karen, what's up?
She's eating the grass, and, we could breed her, but then when she has a baby, then we'll have 3 milking cows. So it's kind of like, what do you do with her? We were just discussing that the other day. Like, what are we going to do? Because our other ones are still so young. I mean, they can milk years.
Yeah, we have a 4-year-old, a 3-year-old, and of course the new one. So when the new one comes up, when Josie gets to milking age, to being a first-time heifer, the other 2 will only be 6 and 5. So that's a lot of cows. I mean, a lot of dairy cows. Okay. Fancy Farmer, we did not see Art and Bree's video today. I'll have to go back and look. I don't know. Little Feet, straws, what most of the time, again, go with your vet. We're not the smartest people in the world, but we've always heard if you're going to try to put straws in, you need to buy at least 3 straws or have 3 straws, because ultimately you're going to try, and you're probably not going to take, try again, probably not going to take, and usually the 3rd time's a charm.
Well, you have to hit her when she's in heat, and that's what matters.
Well, it's not only in heat, but it's got to be, there's only a cow, like a bull will put a cow in heat, but that cow may stand 3 days in a row for that bull, but there's only one day that it's going to be the connection that's needed. So it's the same with the straws.
How many hours of?
It's like a window. It's 6 hours, 12 hours. I can't remember. Of that 3 days,
Yeah.
there's 1 day, and then of that 1 day, it's like
It's X
a window.
amount of hours.
Yeah, it's a real tight window.
Yes,
so
it's 12 hours.
So, it's Castle Hides. What we're talking about straws. If you're AIing your cow and not having a bull,
that's artificial insemination.
Yeah, artificial insemination. So they're called straws, and that's what you're actually breeding them with.
So you're just basically buying a tube of
semen. So
yeah.
The bull's goods.
You had ears that walked in.
I'm sorry.
So
small windows, right?
Yeah. So yes, it is a very small window, and that's why you do that, because she has to be in heat, which means she has to be ovulating or producing eggs, and you got to get her during that time.
Not the straws in the larder, Kim. We're talking about totally different straws here.
Yeah, you don't want these in your pantry.
Yeah. So, anyways, we've talked about AI and our Hereford cows. If y'all seen our Herefords, Nellie and Ollie, because we want them registered. So until we buy our Hereford bull, which next time what we're going to do is we have 2 bulls. We're going to basically take these 2 bulls and probably sell them over the next year or so, because ultimately you're not going to keep a bull on farm for about 2 years just because they can't breed their young, especially if you're doing a commercial herd. So for us, we are trying to go to more of a dairy breed herd, of course, which is our Jerseys, and then we're going to have a closed off registered herd, hopefully with our Hereford. So we will start weeding out these 2 bulls and probably adding on another Hereford bull that will breed both. One's going to throw off low birth weight for our dairy, but also to throw off our beef cows for our first-time heifers. So anyways, yeah. Yeah, a lot of times, that's another thing, little feed. A lot of times, the only thing we were scared of about doing AI is because they usually have to either give them a shot or give them an injection for putting them in heat. It's just like an estrogen booster. And again, just because we've been not that we're against it, because we actually talked about AI at first. We just ran across Daddy-O, and it was a great deal, so we bought him. But
and he's a very gentle bull.
Oh yeah, very gentle. He was a family. Well, let me go back.
He was on a family farm.
He's not. He is very gentle compared to most bulls, but he's starting to be a little bullheaded. No pun intended. But he's starting to be sometimes, especially like Aiden. If Aiden's trying to just kind of veer him another way, he tends to want to back up versus turn. In the last video, he kind of did that a little bit, and you kind of saw that instead of turning around and going, he tends to kind of just want to back up. And anytime a bull backs up, that's when I want to take a stick and just teach him who I am versus him. But
and 2, it's been hard because we have some permanent fences and then we have some temporary fences, and y'all know that because y'all have seen our layout. And when we are moving him, and we keep our calves mostly in the temporary fencing, and when we try to move him around, like there was a period of time where Josie had to have been in heat, and y'all, I thought he was going to drive our whole family crazy.
Drive me crazy for sure.
Colby, when he's out there moving them and dealing with them, there was a few times that I had to go out and help Aiden because he was acting crazy. There was one time we were telling y'all about when I was out in the garden just to pick okra, and he was about to tear the permanent fence down, 5 strands of permanent barbed wire fence trying to get to Josie. It was crazy.
Yeah, constantly moving.
Yes, so funny? Constantly moving.
I mean, again, our bulls, our 2 bulls.
He never makes a peep.
Our 2 bulls don't have a lot of lady friends, so when they finally get a lady friend, they're ready, son. So
where there's a will, there's a way. We were talking about that earlier. Yeah, because our pink pigs should be due they should have had a litter up until September the 10th.
I know my video from like a month ago or so. Y'all are gonna. I made a complete fool of myself because I thought by now we'd sure have some piglets on one of these little pigs.
So Colby was like, I hope that he can actually breed them, and I was like,
bulls.
He'll get the job done.
Yeah, the thing about bulls, I don't trust any cow. Period. I trust my dairy more than my beef because my dairy I'm with daily, and it's just a relationship you build with them, and they're great.
I wouldn't say trust. I would say more trustworthy.
But like my bulls, I don't trust my bulls. No, I won't turn on my bulls at all.
Can you freezer camp a bull intact?
Yeah, you can. Two frames of thought. You have people. It's like a love hate. You have people who say, "I'm gonna let the bull be a bull," and because he's gonna grow bigger and faster because he's got the testosterone. He's just got a lot more going on for him, so he will grow faster. And either some people will cut him further along so that he could grow bigger and faster. Ben at VW Farm does that. The only thing about it is if you cut them, you got to watch them because sometimes it's harder on them. You can take a bull to the very end to freezer camp. A lot of people do. The only thing is sometimes people say it taints the meat.
Though, when you cut them, y'all, that's some serious. I don't recommend that. I say if you can ban them up front, if that's your goal if you know that, to ban them up front, because that was. It
just depends on what you're looking for. I mean, if
was not humane to me.
A steer is not going to grow as quick as an intact bull. It's just not. So a lot of times you'll see people cut, like our vet cuts always, because for one thing, he knows when you cut, there is no I mean, it is what it is. But people still do bulls. I mean, I know people all the time without cutting is that they'll take their bull to freezer camp because they're going to grow better. Actually, when we dropped off Ike, there was a bull next door that was fully intact. Yep. So it's not. Sure it's just. It is what it is. They grow good. A lot of people like them. Mm-hmm. Yeah. And so for us, it just makes sense for us to steer them.
Food for us.
Because I don't need it. When you have a bull too, because we have another bull, then you get it's like an arrogant match between them. So it's just, for us.
He said he's wearing their hat.
Good job, Howie. Thank you so much. Welcome. So again, some people say it taints the meat. I've had it both ways. I can't tell. It tastes different. I mean, I guess if you run the bull to pieces trying to get it in the chute, I mean, it could probably taste like that. Now, a pig, I wouldn't eat a boar. Boars tend to taint. I will say that. Every boar I've ate,
we have one so that when our vet was here cutting, we had one that escaped, and we thought that we had just totally lost him. We ended up finding him way later that afternoon, and I was telling Colby the other day, I was like, we ought to just go ahead and just kill him off when we kill the rest. He was like, no, I don't think so. So talking about Peppa's little baby that didn't get cut the day the vet was here. Yeah. And I was telling you we ought to just go ahead and kill him off when we kill the other one. And you were like, no, I don't think so. I mean, we really don't have a need for him. I guess we could sell him.
Yeah. Well, he'll be our next breeder. But see, the only thing is like for instance, George, our big intact boar, we'll let him live out his life, and pretty much, I don't know what we'll do with him. We'll figure that out, because he's not somebody. We're not going to probably. He's been intact and older. His meat won't taste nearly as good as a cut boar or a younger boar. It's just how it is. So, but you think about it this way. I deer hunt. A bull. I mean, a buck is going to be out there, and we're going to shoot a buck and pretty much. Eat him with no issue. So people do it all the time.
We hope within the next 2 weeks, Stacy, and I have not been down there to look at them since we moved them in the second pine thicket. But when I looked at her last, she didn't look.
We had one swelling, but then at the same time, it fooled me.
So, look, we had some guys, or a gentleman this afternoon come and pick up the roosters that we mentioned earlier, and they just dolted, I guess that's a word you could use. What would you say? On our turkeys. Mm-hmm. Just
our turkeys are beautiful.
The turkeys. He just messaged me. He was like asking if we want to sell one of them.
I say, I'm sorry. We're not want to sell.
Oh, we love our turkeys. Those little mothers were way too expensive.
Yeah. Which we're killing. We'll be culling about 3 or 4 of them that's still out there. That's going to be our White Holland. They are. We're probably only going to cull 2 the more we talk about it. Because the ones, I think most of the bronze breasted, the bride breasted, I don't think it's the ones that made it. I think all the heritage are the ones that made it. So yeah. Let's see. Phoned over your turkey. I'm telling you, our turkeys were gorgeous.
Turkeys are beautiful anyway. Yeah. And I wouldn't say a lot of people just raise them in our area. It's like
most people, well, they're not. Turkeys around here, they used to be everywhere, but now it's such a sport of hunting.
But we actually raise our turkeys. I can think of a handful of people that actually have turkeys on their property that raise them and breed them and take care of them and all that. Yeah. So he come and they talked about our turkeys, but then he just messaged me and said, because we do Facebook and we only have one account, and since they made me take Colby's name off, I usually do all the social media and he does all the YouTube stuff. That's just kind of a way that we split responsibilities. And but he sent a message that asked to buy one of our turkeys. They're beautiful, though. They are absolutely beautiful.
Little Feet, my bull is 7 months right now. I think he'll be going to freezer camp. Yeah, I mean, I agree there. There's nothing wrong with that at all. Miss Vicky, I agree. I personally, if you're talking about quality deer management, I'm not crazy about just always being a sport hunter and shooting a buck. Now, every once in a while, I want to kill a buck just to make myself feel like I've enjoyed the season. But personally, I'll take a doe in a heartbeat. Last year we didn't take them because, to be honest, we only had one that come in on us that was actually a nice size, but she was a mama, so we didn't take her. But I'm just as good with the doe because we're just wanting it for meat anyway. So.
And yes, we are planning on turkeys for Thanksgiving and Christmas.
Yep.
The ones that we will kill off during our next butcher. And then the rest we want to continue to breed, hopefully have eggs and hatch those out. That's y'all know that sustainability is really important here. And we got of course y'all know we got our Freedom Rangers, and it's our goal there to raise them up and get their eggs. Same thing basically with the ducks, as with the turkeys. So we're hoping that once they start laying, we can start hatching those, kill the older ones off, raise the new babies up. So that's the goal. And
we've got a lot. We're in kind of a weird mode with our birds, I guess you could say, because we're not happy with our hen house, the permanent one. And it seems like when we put them close to the cluck wagon and we put them in the nets, the hens don't do good there. Mm-hmm. So we're just trying to figure out what we want to do. We talked about building another barn on this new property not the new property, the property we just cleared off, making a big barn and kind of making it a inside barn where they can kind of come and go and let the hen boxes and the turkey and duck boxes all be kind of part of inside the barn, and then have the barnyard for just our turkeys and stuff, because we have a good easy way to get deep bed mulch because we have a sawmill that's close and we can go pick up chips for dirt cheap. So it's just one of those things. It would be nice if we can get them
for free. We have tried so many times to contact companies to get them to dump here, like if they're in a forest and they're going through whatever, trying to get rid of chips or whatever, to dump them here.
Oh, yeah,
That's been like impossible.
Yeah. We don't get good chip drops here. I mean, we just don't.
So we have found a local place that does them, and of course we have to buy them, and it's not unreasonable.
Yes, $25 per
trailer load.
Yard, yeah.
I mean, it's not unreasonable, but it would be nice to have them just dumped here, but
we're just trying to figure out the birds, just what we want to do with them.
Stacey says she's wanting some turkeys. Homestead Engraving said haven't had a deer in 7 years because most are too small.
Yeah, I agree. I think QDMA, quality deer management, is huge. I remember, a nice buck around here is 8 to 10 point. Ours have gotten smaller because people have not managed them right. Like for us, I'm not going to kill a 4 or 6 point that's going to walk out because they're too small. Now, I would let Aiden probably take one of those, but for me, that just doesn't mean that much because ultimately they're young. They need to grow. That means they're probably only a year or two old. But if I let that deer walk, it might not make it to the next. It might not make it next to the next hunter. So for me, it's hard for us
that they prefer turkey over ham.
I would say that too, over ham. I would say that.
I don't know. I think I prefer ham over turkey.
Ooh, gosh, my nose is itching.
So yeah, but hopefully our new freezer is supposed to be here in probably the next week and a half, and we have got to get our hams for the holidays.
If we can just get a freezer. If we get a freezer, man, we are going to load up some bacon.
I don't know why COVID has put a damper on the certain items like freezers. I mean, is it that
I think it's just the parts
is a strained relationship with China? I mean, I don't know. I don't know what the deal is. Are people panicked and all went and bought freezers at the same time? I mean, I don't know. But anyway, if we can get one, she said now bacon is another story.
I'm a huge bacon fan. I actually like sausage more than anything.
I like all of it. I cannot complain.
We just call basically pork. We consider that more of our breakfast food. I mean, even though we love Boston butts and pulled pork and pork chops, I mean, bacon and sausage is really what we like the most. Henry's Honeys. For us, deer here, our bucks need to grow better, but we have a high doe population. Actually, this year from Mississippi, they actually want you to take a few more doe. When we take the does, it's going to make our bucks better. It just happens that way. We're overpopulated with does, which would help our bucks if we killed a lot of our does. So this year, our goal is to I would hope our goal is to kill 3 to 4 this year between me and Aiden, hopefully. But that's a lot to ask because, like right now, last year was a bad season. They would come out of the woods. We hunt next to a hardwood forest, so it's kind of hard to get them out of there. But I love deer meat. That's probably my favorite meat, to be honest with you. It's very lean.
Three Musketeers said bacon wrap turkey. That sounds good. And Little Feet Farm said, I love pig from the rooter to the tutor. That sounds like something you'd hear.
Hey, Miss Kathy. How are you? Yeah, they're not big here. Now, the Delta, the North Mississippi area, probably close to where Southern Blessed are and some of the people up in the Delta of Mississippi, they tend to have bigger bucks. Here, they've probably been overhunted years ago to where now we need to grow our deer populace back. And every once in a while, you'll see someone come around with a 150-point deer, 160-point deer, or 12 to 18 point crazy amount rack deer. But most of the time around here, 6 to 8 points kind of as big as they're going to get, and they're not old, 3 or 4 years old. Have you picked a name yet? We've picked one name. We're still not giving it out, though. You're not going to get it out of me. You might get it out of her.
And I have a middle name picked out that he will not agree to yet, so I'm still working on it.
We can't agree on the middle name. It'll end up going to Miss Mac, though, because Miss Mac will probably just make the decision, and she's like, now, that's the name.
Hey, I carry this baby for 9 months. You know what I'm saying?
Chasing chickens, carrying babies, so she'll probably pick him up.
Well, I ain't chasing that rooster no more because he's in heaven.
Or something's belly. I don't know.
If you won't tell us the middle name. We haven't agreed on a middle name yet.
Homestead Engraving Life. What's so funny? You know how we make, if we're getting a deer, most of it we make a sausage. The only things we cut out is the tenderloin and backstrap. I actually love to take my own tenderloin backstrap and we'll cut it into nice cutlets. But where people mostly douse them and flour and deep fry them, I've gotten where I cut them thicker and actually we'll grill them. We tenderize them a little bit, but put them on the grill and eat them as a deer steak. Oh my gosh, that to me it eats all the steak I ever ate. But I like it's a leaner steak, but it's just great quality. I can barbecue a little bit. That's the best way.
Kim said she fills out the birth certificate. Actually, Colby does. He has filled out every one of our kids' birth certificates. Okay, thank you.
Is the baby asleep?
I'm usually holding a wah-wah. Usually what I'm doing.
I agree, Miss Vicky. I think more people are raising their own food, so therefore they're needing freezers. I agree. We probably have too many freezers, but it's a good problem to have.
I think, I don't know, in the hospital, all of our, Aiden was a crybaby. The girls were all decent in the hospital.
Yeah.
You can't remember?
I can't hardly remember hospital stays.
Jennings was pretty good for his first 2 weeks. But usually I'm kind of
she's an emotional wreck.
Yeah.
She just wanted to put it nicely, but that's the truth. People come in, she'll just start crying. She has no idea why. He's
telling the truth. And no, it's not postpartum depression. I don't know if it's like a hormone surge or
there's like people that walk in.
What happens to me, but almost every baby after delivery, like I go through like this emotional detox. I don't know what it is. I think Aiden was the worst though.
I laugh because she's not really an emotional person. I mean, she's really not. Connection. Oh, there it goes. She's not an emotional person at all. But it's the funniest thing because I know her and I know she's not an emotional person, and all of a sudden she just breaks down. I mean, so there was this one time there was a friend of ours. He's this burly.
This is Aiden when I was having the worst time.
Burly guy.
Thank you.
So we have this friend that we had. And he is, when I say a burly man, he's just a burly man. I mean, he's all man. He was all guy, all college boy at that time. So he walks in and he's trying to be, you know, a nice, sincere person.
And I'm like 21.
He could care less to see the baby. He just want to come say, you know, hey, and all that. So he walks in, and all of a sudden, Misty starts crying, and he didn't know what to do. He feels so awkward. He's like, I guess I'll leave now. And so he left. Well, he had seen him since. I've never seen him since. So she freaked him out.
Yes, you have. You've seen him a few times since.
Oh, but it's so funny.
Yeah, it is. I mean, I don't know what it is about it, but Aiden was definitely the worst. I don't remember it being too bad with the girls. Jennings wasn't terrible either. I just had a lot of complications after. So, I mean, when you have what feels like a fractured tailbone, I mean. So, anyway, hopefully it won't be this bad this time. Who knows? I don't know.
Oh, my gosh. Mike said it was 11.7 pound girl. Oh my gosh.
Heavens.
That's crazy.
My daughter cried when she delivered her 11.7 pound
That's
baby
crazy.
with no medicine.
Yeah, she deserved to cry, absolutely.
Yes,
she's all woman for sure. That's crazy.
11 pounds. Wow. My biggest was 8'14", and I had an epidural with her. So Jennings, I did not, which he was only 7'12", something like that.
I can't remember.
He was 7 something. He wasn't 8. But that was a nightmare in itself. But we had some position problems and all. Kim said I cried with all 3 of mine, and mine were C-sections. Yeah, but it's a total hormonal thing, and
12-pounder Karen said, "Oh my gosh!"
And I can't. It's not something I can control, so he just has to tough it out for those. Especially,
laugh.
It's like, especially like the first 3 or 4 days. I don't know. I don't know if it's a overwhelming thankfulness or it's just a bundle of emotions. I don't know. Lack of sleep. I mean, sleep deprivation.
Oh goodness. So, kind of tell us as we end this.
She fell asleep after she had hers. Hey, that's
pretty awesome.
Yes, and exhaustion. You're totally right. Y'all make sure you clean up and get your teeth brushed.
So, kind of tell us as we got only about 9 minutes left of this, but tell us kind of how everything's going at your farm or your growing days, your vegetable gardens. How's everything going for y'all? I know we have a lot of people at different climates, so we're kind of in a lull. I know some of y'all are trying to get it all planted. So, kind of tell us what you're doing at your farm and homestead.
Enriched refuge. That's awesome. We've gotten kicked off, but
slowly
we have some other planning that has to get done.
Yeah.
Oh, you might be getting the sniffles now.
I know it's your fault.
It's not my fault.
It is your fault.
Taylor started it.
All right, so let's see. Too hot, rustic tradition says to. Sort of the same way. Yep. Zone 8B is hard.
Oh gosh. Her hair caught my Sayla's climbing under the table, and her hair went across my leg, and I thought it was a bug.
Kim Winkler has been canning cherry tomatoes. You know, I'm not a big cherry tomato fan. I like the big ones. I'm not big on the small ones. So, but good job on that.
Stacey said you should have your mask on.
Yeah.
Protect you from everything.
That's correct. Little Feet said putting water catchment systems everywhere. What's neat is we are building these 16 by 20 barns kind of all over our property, if y'all have seen us doing them. And our goal is to have water catchment on all those. That's kind of the next set of that, and that'll help us drink water for our animals, because on the other side it's hard to run water lines.
3 Musketeers said tomatoes are in their prime in Michigan.
Ours are fully planted and finishing
up. Fully played out. They're done. We're done. Picking no more tomatoes here.
Let's see. Homestead and Gravy Life. We are in full tomato mode. We have dozens of zucchini. It's just so crazy. I mean, all that stuff is completely finished, completely cut, played out, and done. North Star Prep Street again.
Everything's harvesting.
North. Yeah, crazy. Yep.
It's amazing. Well, I mean, you know, we planted and they had not planted yet.
Yeah. We
were kind of harvesting and they were planting, and now ours is kind of done and they're harvesting. So it's so neat. I mean, you know, but y'all are a lot of you guys on here are several hours away from us. And, you know, it makes a huge
Some of the ones around our areas are about like we are.
Yeah.
That's great, man. That's great to see all y'all doing. Excellent. Fantastic live stream. Thank you so very much for that. Go watch the Bears catch the salmon. That's pretty awesome.
That
Hallie.
is pretty awesome.
You know, like same thing, Kim, on Romas. I'll eat Romas, but I'm not a tomato snob, but I do like certain tomatoes better than the others. Would that be a tomato snob?
Kind of.
Kind of. Would I be a tomato
Well,
snob?
I guess not really. I mean, everybody has their own vegetables that they like, more than others.
Yeah, we plant. Well, we do have a good growing season. Actually,
Good night, Three Musketeers.
you can
Thank you
grow.
for jumping on. We haven't heard from you in a while. It's good to have you on from Michigan.
We can grow now. It's just we have to use so much more water. I mean, so for us, it's not worth us trying to keep something alive.
It's just
it's
so
hard.
hot. Our ground, like the rain that we got off the hurricane. I mean, we got a lot of rain. So much rain in the parking lot in Walmart. I should post those pictures. That our parking lot in town was just underwater, but our grounds were so dry that it has sucked up. There's not one water puddle to be seen. I mean, our ground was so dry.
Sean Alaska says I am a tomato snob, and Kim said I'm being feisty tonight.
You're being feisty.
It's probably hormones.
Whatever you say.
Oh goodness. Let's see. Yeah, we're ready. We're ready for cool weather too. I mean, it's so humid.
Ask him
outside.
that when he's milking in January.
I don't mind being cold. I don't even mind milking when it's cold. I would rather just have to put more clothes on because, like right now, when we're milking, it's so humid and it's so sweaty. It's just like I just get so tired of it. I'm so ready for cold.
Be crying soon.
Sympathy hormones.
Just remember, she knows where you sleep.
That's about right. Yeah, Cindy, that's right. You're in California, I think. So it's on 10 AC. Y'all can grow just about any time. Yeah, for us, we don't have as many flies as outside. We do have them inside. We don't have as many more flies this year, though. Last year, they were terrible.
And flies were really bad in the dead of summer here. But y'all know what we're struggling with the most now? Mosquitoes.
Stacey said the same thing. You see that?
They are horrible. I walked in our bathroom earlier. I don't know. I had walked in there to get something.
I don't know.
And I walked over by where our toilet is at. There was like 4 mosquitoes sitting right there just in the toilet. And I'm like, y'all, seriously. And at any point in time in the house, like if I'm in the kitchen, I see one in the kitchen. And there are times when I have time, I will run around the house and chase them and try to smash them in the middle of my hand. But the bad thing about it is when they get in a dark spot, they fly around. When they get in a dark spot, my eyes lose them because they're so dang little. But the girls' rooms, the bathrooms, the kitchen, I mean, it's like we have had mosquitoes, like it's terrible.
Sean Alaska, our January, February to you would be probably like your summer. so we don't understand that for sure. Yeah, my wife, what you've come away with in this live is that my wife can be emotional. I'm a tomato snob, and she absolutely hates roosters running around the yard and mosquitoes in the house. So if you got nothing out of this pointless hour, you got those few things. I'm a coffee snob too. I have to say that. I don't like drinking just anybody's coffee because everybody makes it different ways. So I'm a tomato and coffee snob.
Karen said we can have her winter. I'll pass. I don't like cold weather. No, I'd rather go out there and sweat.
She hates it.
I don't like cold weather.
What's so funny is she's been keeping the house cool because her hormones. So she usually wants it hot. Usually I'm burning up in the summer in the house too. But that's one good thing about her being pregnant is she wants to keep the air down to nothing. So it's been so nice. But she actually don't like cold weather. So I love it. I absolutely love it. Our cold weather, South Mississippi cold weather.
Right.
So
I don't like Alaska summers.
We hadn't had any Japanese beetles either. So.
Mm-mm.
Hey, I would like to snowmobile, but then I'd like to come back. I would like to go to see those kind of snows and those kind of winters for a week
Kim
And then
said
we're
she
back.
had the windows open in December. She was so hot. See, I ain't that bad.
Thank you for coming on Enrich Refuge.
Yes,
We're ending
absolutely.
anyway. We
Yes,
thank
we do.
y'all so very much for being on. I'm glad to know we have a bunch of coffee snobs in here. That's always good. So we are going to end. 2.5 acres gets on right when we're at the end. Hey, I just want to say hey, but we are ending. So thank y'all so very much for coming on. It's always fun. We went all over the place tonight.
We did. But we always love getting on here and talking to y'all. And I mean, always. I know y'all get on because y'all like to hear my country accent.
So we started off with fall and winter, and then come back to Christmas,
Fall and
and then come
winter.
back to fall and winter. So we wrapped it up. We chased a rabbit for an hour. All right, guys. Thank y'all so much, and we're glad you did come on 2.5 weeks though. So thank you for all the ones who come on, some of the new ones that came on tonight.
Absolutely.
Thank y'all so very much. And
yes, we love your accent.
And we give all y'all permission to be like Ivy Acres and just binge watch the Max all the time.
Yep. Even in the pouring rain outside when you're feeding your animals.
You can spend
that
time
is hardcore, y'all.
with the Max.
Thank y'all
guys.
so much.
God bless.
Happy homesteading, y'all.
Happy homesteading.
See y'all later. Happy homesteading, y'all.
Yeah.